Good evening. I'm Harry Keeling, and on behalf of Alaska Public Media and the Alaskan Aviation Safety Foundation, welcome to Hangar Flying. Tonight we welcome back Bill Compton, who's been on the program twice before, the last 2 times. And if you had the opportunity to watch the program, I think you'd agree with me. It's pretty good stuff on fuel management, precise flight planning, and long-distance flights over water. Tonight I want to talk a little bit about something that probably interests many of you, and that's the argument of rich of peak and lean of peak. Bill, welcome back.
Thank you.
Well, let's just start. Tell me your theory on lean of peak.
Well, lean of peak engine operation is quite the gift. It was originated by the airlines when they were flying radial piston engines. And in one study, they were getting 600 hours between overhauls on some engines. And they started using leaner techniques, and they were getting 2,400 hours between overhauls. And they used a little different technique, but the bottom line was the same. They were using a torque indicator from the radial engines and then reducing the fuel flow by 10%. And it put them just where we are when we fly, for instance, 40 degrees lean of peak EGT. And so the advantages are more power on less fuel, or same power on less fuel, lower cylinder head temps, lower internal combustion pressures, cleaner engine because there's more air in the mixture and all the fuel gets burned. And the way it can work is simply that it being either a little lean of peak or very rich of peak slows down the flame front of combustion so that the push on the piston is later in the piston throw. And geometrically that's more efficient, and there's less time for the heat of combustion to transfer to the cylinder wall and heat the engine. So it's just really a natural, and but it does take some knowledge and some instrumentation to do it successfully.
Okay, let's talk about the instrumentation, because some aircraft, some engines probably are not equipped to do that. Can you talk about that?
Sure. An engine analyzer is what's needed for this, and it would give continuous information on exhaust gas temperature of every cylinder, as well as cylinder head temperature, and on a turbocharged aircraft, the turbine inlet temperature. And it's all presented in a graphical form with 7 bars of red lights that go up and down, and it's very handy to have. And it has to be accompanied by a digital fuel flow meter, and those things have really put us where we know what's going on with the engine.
I want to say something that you said that probably, I think most people that are leery of lean of peak think that being rich of peak, there's more fuel, and so then it operates cooler. And you're saying that's not the case.
True. We were all taught years ago by our flight instructors, the more you pull out the mixture knob, the higher the temperatures go. But there are 2 ways to that. As you pull the mixture knob out, the exhaust gas temperatures start to increase, but then they reach a peak level, and with further leaning, they go back down. And that's where I want to be operating my engine.
So you're burning less fuel at a cooler temperature, and you're saying the overall effect probably is going to extend your TVO, or it's going to extend the life of the engine.
Well, yes. Some operators are getting double their time between overhauls with operating lean of peak.
Wow.
And I only use rich of peak operations for takeoff and initial climb. Once I have a couple thousand feet above ground, then I'll go Lena Peak for my climb, and I'm full throttle from the start of the takeoff roll until my top of descent at destination.
And we've run out of time. Let me just recap though. You need to have a good, accurate engine analyzer, which gives you constant readouts for all 6 cylinders.
Yes.
Okay. Bill, thank you so much for being on the program. It's been fascinating talking to you about your Trans-Pacific flights and your flight planning, and I think we've all had a chance to learn some new stuff, and also the Lena Peak discussion. So thanks for being on the program.
Thank you, Harry.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think you would agree with me that the last 3 shows have been very fascinating, and I think you'll probably want to watch them again to kind of digest what Bill said. It's been great having him on the program. And until next time, fly safe.